I mean, the biggest thing that helps is knowing somebody on the ground there already.
So when I look at maps, I look at places that that look good.
Onyx Hunt Maps is a really great deal, but it's really cool because you can kind of see the layout and you can see the zones. We've used it in the past when we went out of state.
I've used Onyx Maps sometimes to cross-reference things, especially if I'm looking for a place that's public, and also make sure that you're not on somebody else's property.
Getting online, doing some research on state websites.
Until you actually go out to the refuge, put your feet on the ground, you don't know what is really out there.
And then another thing is I really like is Google Earth, as you can kind of see the habitat, the area, if it's, you know, tules, if it's river, if it's marsh.
But the maps are a good tool to see areas, and I always look for places that are far away from everybody else, because personally I like to get as far away from people as possible, but sometimes that's not always the best spot. Sometimes the best spot can be right smack dab in the middle where everybody else is at.
It's kind of fun looking anyways, just kind of see what the area is like. I like to pick several places, you know, like 4 or 5 hunt locations, and then whatever state I'm going to, Google that, and then you can pull up from there and see where to go.
Yeah, any extra tool that you can use to help you be better prepared to go out there is a good thing.
So, I mean, your most important thing should be reading that state's regs.
In California, they may be different than Nevada, Washington, or whatever other state you may be visiting. Bag limits could be different.
Every state, let alone multiple zones in each state, are so much different.
Season dates, sometimes the dates for certain birds start earlier or later.
Bird ID is very important as well on top of that.
And one of the big things is you don't want to get in trouble. That's like key, is you don't want to go to another state or any state, that for that matter, and shoot one too many of a bird you're not supposed to shoot.
We had an experience where we were hunting a refuge and some guys come in, they were very happy because they had killed 8 ducks, and they took them up there. The game warden came out there, and the limit's 7, so yeah.
So you really have to be on top of reading your state regs that you're going to.
Save yourself a lot of heartache, time, and money. And the money could be used for other gear, you know? So yeah, you gotta hang on to that stuff.
So I really pre-plan a month, maybe 2 months in advance. I'm looking at Onyx and checking that whole area, like a huge area, you know, 100 square miles, looking for all the zones, making notes on my phone. And then when I get there, the first thing I'm doing is grabbing the binoculars out and putting rubber to the road and driving. That's really all I can do.
You want to have target locations. You need areas where you know there's good chances of finding birds or, you know, whatever you're going after. But
early morning, it's hard to scout because in California, it's usually the Oklahoma land rush. So I think you would do your scouting on a hunt before that. Familiarize yourself with a refuge.
Honestly, being online is a big friend. Trying to find reports of, you know, numbers or things going on, people talking.
When I was younger, I hunted a lot in the mornings, and I was lean, mean, and I moved fast. So I would literally run to the pond. As I've gotten older, I hunt a lot more afternoons, just because I don't like dealing with people walking through my setup, or, you know, you walk across this pond and you get there and you're about, you know, 10 yards away and somebody shines a flashlight and say, "Hey, I'm sitting here." And I'd be like, "Okay, you heard me coming. You had to hear me coming. It'd been nice of you to shine the light before I walked all the way across this pond and shine your light on me."
If we find birds, I don't need to stand there and stare at them forever. I know the birds are there. Mark it, save it, GPS mark it in your phone, and then move on.
I would say the biggest thing is just spending the time to drive these areas, walk these areas with binoculars.
Oftentimes I'll get in a parking lot and I'll sit there and just kind of wait and watch, because middle of the day you don't see many birds flying. So in the afternoon I'll just pull out my binoculars and just kind of look around, and I'll look for places where birds are landing. There's a reason they want to be there, and if they're not flaring, they're not getting shot at. So those are the places I look for.
I like to find multiple areas where birds are, so if it don't work out, I can move on to the next place. I got a couple spots. So
you know, there's not a big reason to just go try to hunt these places blind without ever looking at it, without ever scouting it. You can just go out there and sit in the duck pond and you ain't never going to shoot anything. You know what I mean? So you got to put that time in scouting the day before for the next day's hunt.